All right, man, let's talk about Jared Goff. Now, one of the hope he done backing out. I ain't got time for that. You know, okay, I think one of the worst case scenarios that happened this Jared Goff thing, right? You know, he getting awards and shit, Air Player of the Year and stuff. And, you know, he's putting up great numbers. Therefore, you know, right now, one of the two things that had to happen for them to get an elite quarterback, one of them is happening. In my opinion, it's not in a good way. A lot of people are going to get mad at me for making this video, but check out the Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Usually, I really post these videos when I get to the crib, because I got a whole nother channel, and fat white lady not looking. Appreciate you though for looking, but but nonetheless, dude, with Jared Goff, with the Lions, one or two things that are happening, or one of the things is not happening, and that's Jared Goff is somebody got a 13-foot skeleton in their yard. Shit is sweet as hell. But he's balling numbers wise. Right? You look at the numbers. Well, I don't know where yet. What, 15 touchdowns, 2-3 interceptions now, or whatever the situation may be. He balling, numbers wise. But my whole thing is it's not something where it's sustainable. You know what I'm saying? What he's showing is you can win with Jared Goff. Never said you couldn't. But for where the Lions need to go, you know, where we need to go, we need that quarterback. Now, maybe Brad Holmes feel like that quarterback in this draft. I'm not a C.J. Stroud fan. Every time C.J. Stroud plays somebody pretty good, he don't show up. Bryce Young, he injured. So, the too small comparison. Also, Brad Holmes, one of the things he cannot afford is to draft an injury-prone quarterback. Who knows what's going to happen with Lamar Jackson, right? You know, a lot of people not comfortable giving them that amount of money, especially after you paid several players and they all got injured. You paid Ragnar, he got injured. You paid Romeo Cora, he got injured, right? So we can just keep going on and on. Tracy Walker, he got injured. So a lot of people not going to feel comfortable, especially with this style of play. And like I said, I'm not going to fight you on any three of them, however you want to go. You pushing for Bryce, you pushing for Stroud, you pushing for Lamar Jackson. I really don't like. You know, do what you do. I'm not going to say you wrong, you say you right? I'm just going to be like, give my opinion. But what Jared Goff is doing is he's playing well enough where he can buy them time to build the team and try to win with him, and that's not the answer. You know, you can look at the numbers and look at they throwing, but you got to look at I don't even look at the teams that he's playing against. Look at the scenarios. When they needed him to make a play in Minnesota on 4th and 4, they did not trust Jared Goff to make a play. Now, had Amon-Ra Brown been healthy, DeAndre Swift been healthy, I mean, maybe you're not even in that scenario, but had DeAndre Swift been healthy, had Amon-Ra St. Brown been healthy, they went for that 4th and 4, and they probably pick it up easy. Right? Had they been healthy, you know, they beat Seattle. So now you're looking at 3 and 1. You know what I'm saying? You can talk about how the pick six was the difference. The 2 pick sixes probably was the difference in them being undefeated. But I don't really look at it that way. I look at it the simple fact that this team was never going to reach its full potential this season because of the amount of injury-prone players. They had the second most important player on this team that they needed for them to make the jump that y'all thought they was making off Hard Knock. Levon Undersworky, we may never see him in the fucking Lions uniform. The way it's going, you may never see him in the Lions uniform. So now that goes on top of the priority list as far as you need somebody who can rush the passer up the middle. Now, back on Jared Goff, it ain't that, I'm not saying that everything around him is good, is great. You can't win. But we have Matthew Stafford, and we have some good things around Matthew Stafford, contrary to what the public say. He had a top 5 defense one year. He had Calvin Johnson, Golden Tate, going into that last NFC championship, going into that NFC playoff versus Dallas. You know, he hurt his fucking thumb. You know, and what didn't help was Reggie Bush and Drake Bell starting to fade the second half of that year. But he hurt his damn thumb. If that was the year they was going to win a playoff game or two or make it to the NFC Championship game, it was that year. But it just wasn't Stafford that failed the team. You know, his thumb, and then the running back started fucking fumbling out of nowhere that season. But they need the future. And I hate to harp that in y'all head. They need the future. They need the future. And Jared Goff is playing respectable football. And it's only a quarter of the season, I believe. They what? 1-3. And they can easily turn around and be 4-0. But what he doing? Can he sustain this for the entire season? Absolutely. Even what the record is, and he keep playing well and putting up decent numbers, bro, I was gonna see, I told you, he wasn't the problem. We gonna stick with Jared Goff, and we gonna build this thing around Jared Goff, and it's not the answer. I hate to say that. It's not the answer. You can't continue. Your core can't be DeAndre Swift. You can't build it around DeAndre Swift no more. We knew that coming into the season. They gave him one more chance like Biggie. We knew that coming into the season. But they need the answer. And if the answer is not, you got to remember, this is the last year Goff got guaranteed. You know, they can get out of that Goff contract with slap on the wrist penalty. Still a penalty, but it's like $10 million or something like that. It's a slap on the wrist penalty. So they can get out this contract and it could be a slap on the wrist. You know? But he's playing well enough where you got to be like, you know, we Brad Holmes, you like him already. He proved you right. You give him a couple decent weapons. You think, well, if we get Jameson Williams back 100%, we get a running back in here that can sustain, you know what I'm saying? Or that can at least, you know, do what DeAndre Swift can do when DeAndre Swift out. Hey, man, we're a playoff team next year. And it's hard not to look at that from that angle, saying, see, Jared Goff is playing solid. But if Jared Goff is that guy in Minnesota, you know, you win that game by you win that game going by 2 scores at least. 3, you know, if we're being honest. You win that game going by 3 scores. And they got to evaluate all options, especially you start talking about Lamar Jackson. You have to evaluate. Especially you start talking about one of them young guys if you believe in them. Now, the other thing that they are doing, they are in the hunt with 1 win. There's no more winless teams in the NFL. The Raiders won. They're in the hunt for a top pick. You got to remember, too, is New Orleans keep playing bad, Philadelphia got New Orleans pick, and actually Jalen Hurts is doing the job. So it might be a Detroit to Philadelphia connection again to get up there and get who you like. Now, if anybody out there playing that hot, Stroud is going to be a hot name. But as of right now, I just never been impressed with him when I watched him. Every time I watch him, it's just unimpressive. He feasts on lesser opponents. So in the situation, you're probably going, if I'm a betting man, and Goff, and it's only a quarter of the season, and Goff keep going the direction he's going in, Goff is probably going to be your quarterback for the next 2, whatever his contract plays out, 2 or 3 more years. That's what's going to happen. Guaranteed. You can book it. And you're not going to win. You're not going to win anything meaningful. He probably get you a playoff win. He probably could. He probably could. He's improved from last year. And he's improved. It's just not the weapons around him. He's more comfortable. He really stepped his damn game up this year. He has. And he's not complacent. He's a nice guy. He's a hard worker. He's talented. But when you got to go to San Francisco to win a game, or you got to go to Green Bay to win a playoff game to get to the championship, you got to go to wherever you got to go. Chicago to win a game. Do I trust him? He's still fluky. And the Minnesota game proved that. You're supposed to win that going by 4 scores, 3 scores, 2 scores, minimum. And in the Seattle game, he looked, Ben Johnson is doing his thing. And then you got to wonder, what if you get another year under Ben Johnson's system? Now that can go 1 or 2 ways. The NFL can catch up to what Ben Johnson doing and what Jared Goff doing. Or you get healthy next year, you get a healthy line, you get another running back that can do what DeAndre Swift can do to aid him. You know what I'm saying? You bring Jameson Williams in full strength, and then you see where it go from there. But this rebuild don't start until you get a quarterback. Just hate to break it to y'all. But he's playing well enough to justify it. I'm always going to argue it. He playing well enough right now to say, well, you know, if Peyton Manning ain't there, you know what I'm saying? If, you know, you can't get Lamar, you know what I'm saying? And I haven't evaluated all the quarterbacks, but I still feel comfortable with you get Malik Willis, and this would have made this situation, a transition, a lot easier. Or he's learning, he's getting better, he's learning, he's getting better, he's learning. Or my boy down there in Carolina, from Ole Miss, he's learning, he's getting better. You know, we're going to take it day by day. And Goff playing well, that way, it wouldn't have been no pressure on Goff for Malik Willis to come in. None whatsoever. That way, you said, we really believe in Malik, but we going to bring him along nice. Or we really believe in Pickett. Or we really believe in my man's down there from Ole Miss. His name, it eluded me. We really believe in him. So we going to give it another go. He going to learn a couple more years. Aaron Sapp, we going to sit him, build him up physically. You know, Ben is working with him. Mark Brunell is working with him. We're going to feel comfortable in a couple years giving him the keys. But right now, Jared's our quarterback. Wouldn't be no Lamar fucking Jackson. Wouldn't be no Bryce Young. Wouldn't be no TJ Stroud unless you was in those top 2 or 3 or top 5 pick next year. That's the only box that Jared Goff ain't marking right now. And how much of it is his fault? I don't think it's a top 3 thing that's his fault right now. I probably can go as far as top 5. He's not at fault. You know? But at some point, you're going to have to completely transition from the Stafford era. And Jared Goff is just a bridge. Until proven otherwise, he's just a bridge. But you got to commend him for busting his ass. And had you went out there and got one of those quarterbacks in the middle of last year's draft, shit, you know, we'll see what Pascal got. He practicing. But if Pascal and whoever the hell you took in the middle of last year's draft don't compete, you know, Jaquan Brisker from Penn State and Chicago was kicking ass and taking names, and I loved him coming out. So you got to wait and see, honestly. But that would have bought Jared Goff some more years to play out his contract. But they got a decision to make. He keep playing like this, it's gonna be a tough decision. But if you in that range, or you had got the assets to move up, or you at number 1, 2, or 3, or 5, wherever one of them quarterbacks fall, you pass up on them. It got to be somebody like Joey Bosa, Aiden Hutchinson, Derek Stingley, Sauce Gardner, somebody in there to justify that. But the number 1 issue right now is injuries. It is the injury bug. That's their number 1 issue right now, is the injury bug. That's it. It's the injury bug. This team, healthy, probably be 4-0, bro. And probably about to knock off 2 or 3 more. And Brad Holmes gambled on a whole bunch of injury-prone people, and it became contagious. It became contagious. And more injured. Now you a team, you know, and people talking about, well, we'll get rid of Campbell, or, you know, Holmes on the hot seat, or Aaron Glenn on the hot seat. I'm one of them guys that don't believe so. We got to give these dudes a full chance. Holmes need about a decade. Entry-level guy, he going to make some mistakes. Let's see if he can right the ship. If we got to get an advisor or an assistant to help him right the ship, so be it. But we'll see. But Goff making it hard. It's so hard, wanna be like fun. You know, he's making it hard right now, but we're a quarter through. We'll see. But check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video. Share the video. Subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video. Share the video. Subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications. Increase your chance of notification. We go live and drop a video. Hit the link tree. Find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Hopefully I can get a live stream, man, for y'all pretty soon. I've been trying, but I'm gonna try to do. But hey, I appreciate y'all. Peace.